Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to all my friends who are learning English with me right now. I'm so happy you joined us today because we have an incredible story waiting for you. Imagine a young boy born in the freezing winds of the open grasslands who grows up to lead the largest empire the world has ever known. Can you picture that? One man's courage and clever mind changed history forever. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up right now. It really helps our channel bring you more exciting English stories like this every week. Today we're diving into the life of Genghis Khan, the great Mongol emperor. His tale is perfect for B1 learners because it mixes action, smart decisions, and new vocabulary in a way that feels like an adventure. Let's travel back together to the year 1162 in the wild land of Mongolia. The place was called the steppe, those endless grassy plains where the wind never stops blowing and the sky feels close enough to touch. There, a baby boy named Temujin was born into a family of nomads. Nomads are people who move from place to place with their horses and sheep, always searching for fresh grass and water. Life on the steppe was tough but free. Young Temujin learned to ride horses almost before he could walk. He felt the strong muscles of the pony under him as the cold air rushed past his face. The smell of leather and grass filled his days, and the sound of thundering hooves became his music. But when Temujin was only 9 years old, tragedy hit like a sudden storm. His father, a respected tribal chief, was poisoned by enemies. The family was left alone with almost nothing. Can you imagine how scared and lonely that little boy must have felt? His mother, Holun, was strong and wise. She taught her children to hunt small animals and gather roots just to survive. They moved constantly to stay safe from rival tribes. Those early years were full of hunger and danger, yet they taught Temujin the most important lesson of all: never give up. Do you know why this hard childhood mattered so much? It turned Temujin into a tough and clever young man. He learned the value of loyalty and the pain of betrayal. These feelings would shape everything he did later as a leader. As a teenager, things got even harder for Temujin. An enemy tribe captured him and put a heavy wooden collar around his neck like a prisoner. The collar rubbed his skin raw and made every step painful. But Temujin refused to stay broken. With the help of a kind friend, he escaped one dark night. He ran through the tall grass until his legs burned. When he finally reached his family, they welcomed him with tears of joy. This escape showed everyone around him that Temujin had real courage and resourcefulness. That means he was good at finding smart ways to solve big problems. Around the same time, Temujin married a young woman named Borte. She had been promised to him since they were children. That kind of promise is called a betrothal. Their marriage was not only about love, it created an important alliance between two tribes. Alliances like this help tribes protect each other in the dangerous steppe. Soon after the wedding, disaster struck again. A rival group kidnapped Borte. Temujin felt anger and fear burn inside him like fire. But he did not sit and cry. He gathered a small band of loyal warriors and planned a daring rescue. They rode through the night, their horses breathing hard in the cold air. When they attacked at dawn, the enemies were surprised. Temujin brought Borte home safely, and his reputation as a brave leader grew stronger. What would you do if someone took your loved one away? Temujin chose action, and that choice brought more friends to his side. Slowly, he started to build a group of followers who trusted him completely. He treated everyone fairly, no matter their family background. This idea was new and powerful. Most leaders at that time only helped their own relatives. But Temujin chose people based on their skills and loyalty. This system is called merit-based leadership. It made his group stronger than any other tribe around. One by one, Temujin defeated rival clans in smart battles. His warriors were expert horse riders and archers. They could shoot arrows while galloping at full speed across the open steppe. The sound of their bows twanging and arrows whistling through the air terrified their enemies. Temujin also invented clever battle tricks. One favorite was the feigned retreat, that means pretending to run away so the enemy follows and falls into a trap. When the enemy chased them, the Mongols would suddenly turn and attack from all sides. This tactic worked again and again because it used the enemy's own confidence against them. By the year 1206, something amazing happened. Temujin had brought almost every Mongol tribe together under his flag. They held a huge meeting called a Kurultai, where leaders from all the clans gathered. At that meeting, they gave him a new name that everyone would remember forever. They called him Genghis Khan. The name means universal ruler or great leader of all. From that day on, he was no longer just Temujin the boy from the steppe. He was Genghis Khan, the emperor of the Mongols. Now, with a united army behind him, Genghis Khan looked beyond Mongolia. He turned his eyes south toward the rich kingdoms of China. China was split into different dynasties back then, and the northern Jin dynasty was very powerful. But Genghis Khan's warriors moved faster than anyone expected. Picture thousands of Mongol horsemen charging across the dusty plains. Their leather armor creaked, and their curved swords flashed in the sunlight. They captured cities and forced the Chinese rulers to pay tribute, that means valuable gifts and money to stop more fighting. Yet Genghis Khan was not only interested in treasure. He wanted to create a huge empire where his laws would bring order and safety. He treated surrendered cities fairly if they opened their gates peacefully. But if they fought back, the punishment was swift and complete. This mix of mercy and strength made many leaders think twice before challenging him. After conquering parts of China, Genghis Khan turned west toward Central Asia. There lay the powerful Khwarezmian Empire, which covered lands we now call Iran and Uzbekistan. At first, Genghis Khan wanted peace and trade. He sent merchants along the ancient Silk Road to open new routes for buying and selling goods. The Silk Road was the famous path that connected China to Europe. Caravans carried silk, spices, gold, and new ideas across deserts and mountains. But the ruler of the Khwarezmian Empire made a terrible mistake. He killed the Mongol traders and insulted Genghis Khan's messengers. That insult turned into one of the biggest conquests in history. Genghis Khan's army swept across the region like a storm. Cities that had stood for centuries fell one after another. The thunder of hooves and the cries of battle filled the air for months. Still, Genghis Khan showed surprising wisdom even in victory. He allowed people of different religions to live freely in his empire. Christians, Muslims, and Buddhists could all pray in their own way. This tolerance, that means respect for other beliefs, helped keep peace in the huge lands he ruled. Let's pause for a moment and talk about why the Mongol army was almost unstoppable. First, they were perfectly organized. They divided soldiers into groups of 10, 100, and 1,000. This decimal system made orders clear and fast, even in the middle of battle. Second, they gathered information like spies before every attack. They knew the enemy's weaknesses long before the fighting started. Third, their speed was legendary. A Mongol warrior could ride 200 miles in a single week without getting tired. Can you picture an entire army moving silently through the night? The only sound was the soft breathing of horses and the whisper of grass under hooves. At dawn they would attack suddenly, arrows flying like a black cloud across the sky. No wonder so many kingdoms surrendered without a long fight. Genghis Khan also understood something very smart about trade. He protected the Silk Road so merchants could travel safely. Under Mongol rule, the roads became safer than ever before. This time of safe travel and growing business is called the Pax Mongolica, the Mongol Peace. Because of the Pax Mongolica, ideas traveled as fast as goods. Europe learned about paper money, gunpowder, and even noodles from the East. The Mongols carried knowledge across continents and changed the world in quiet ways too. Of course, the conquests were not only about glory. Many cities were destroyed, and many lives were lost. Genghis Khan believed deeply in justice and loyalty. He rewarded brave warriors with land and riches, but he punished betrayal without mercy. His own family played big roles in the empire. He had 4 strong sons, Joki, Chagatai, Ogidii, and Talui. Each son led armies and governed different parts of the growing lands. Genghis Khan taught them to work together for the good of the whole empire. In the year 1227, while fighting in China against the Xia kingdom, Genghis Khan became ill. Some stories say he fell from his horse and never recovered. Others say an old wound finally took its toll. No one knows the exact truth, but the great leader passed away that year. His death was kept secret for a while. Soldiers carried his body back to Mongolia in the dead of night. Legend says they killed anyone who saw the funeral procession so the grave would stay hidden forever. Even today, the exact place where Genghis Khan rests remains a mystery. Yet his spirit never disappeared. The Mongol Empire he started stretched over 9 million square miles at its largest. That is bigger than any empire before it in history. From the Pacific Ocean waves to the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, one set of laws ruled millions of people. Those laws were written in the Yasa, the code of Genghis Khan. The Yasa said no stealing, no lying, and no harming the innocent. It gave women more respect than many other cultures did at the time. It also demanded total discipline from every soldier. Today, people still talk about Genghis Khan in different ways. Some remember him as a fierce conqueror who brought destruction. Others see him as a visionary leader who connected the East and the West. In modern Mongolia, he is a national hero whose face appears on money and stamps. His story appears in books, movies, and video games around the world. Children in many countries learn his name in history class. Even now, more than 800 years later, his influence lives on. As we finish this long journey together, let's take a quiet moment to reflect. We didn't just hear about battles and empires. We practiced English words like conquer, alliance, tolerance, legacy, and Pax Mongolica. We listened to storytelling sentences that help your brain remember new vocabulary naturally. History stories like this one make English learning exciting instead of boring. You improve your listening, pick up everyday phrases, and discover the world at the same time. Every time you watch a video like today's, your English gets a little stronger and your confidence grows. So, what do you think about Genghis Khan now? Was he a hero, a villain, or something in between? I would love to read your honest thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions help all of us learn together. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end of this 30-minute story. If you enjoyed learning English through the amazing life of Genghis Khan, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the little notification bell so you never miss our next historical adventure. Comment below and tell me, which famous leader or event would you like us to explore in the next video? Maybe Alexander the Great, Cleopatra, or the story of the Silk Road itself? The choice is yours, my friends. See you very soon in the next lesson. Keep practicing your English every single day, stay curious, and take care. Goodbye for now.